History of haut de gamme or high-end French perfumes. France is famous for its noses or unique expertise in fragrances. Un nez is an artist or chemist specializing in the creation of high-end perfumes. Noses are few in number, between 50 and 100, because they have to distinguish and memorize between 1 and 5,000 raw materials, which takes dedication and talent. The most expensive French perfumes are Number 5 by Chanel, created in 1921 by Ernest Beau for Coco Chanel, with the theme A Perfume for Women. Iris dominates, with notes of rose and jasmine. The bottle costs 28,000 euros. Poivre by Caron is a unisex fragrance created in 1954 by Michel Mossetti. The perfume combined two opposite scents, pepper and lotus. There is also a hint of saffron, paprika and frankincense. The creation of the House of Caron in 1904 comes from the love for a woman, Félicité Van Puil, a modelist. She worked closely with Ernest Daltroff, its creator, at making the most inventive perfumes of the century. Maybe the most iconic perfume of Caron is Narcisse Noir, launched in 1911. 24 Faubourg by Hermès was created by Maurice Roussel in 1995. It is made with white flowers and a base of vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood and amber, and will set you off at 1,000 euros. Hermès started as an artisan maker of riding gear for noblemen. Over time, the company broadened its scope, including leather goods, clothing and accessories. In 1880, the company moved to 24 Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré, hence the name of the perfume. Despite their high price, niche fragrances are growing by almost 25% a year. People prefer individualized fragrances to trendy ones. In fact, many people prefer slow perfume in tandem with slow fashion, a unique way of dressing for more ethical and thoughtful consumption. The most famous noses are French, and the world seeks their expertise. Noses need patience, knowledge, and artistic talent. The creation of a perfume takes between 6 months and 2 years and may not work. Plus, perfumes lose value with time. Noses are employed by various perfume brands. Few are independent, but they create innovative niche and artisans' fragrances. The world of perfume is dominated by men, but some famous independent women are Patricia de Nicolai, Annick Goutal, and Cécile Zarokian. The first woman nose passed down by history might be Taputi Belatikalim or Taputi Palace Assistant, the first known woman chemist from the 13th century BC. She used to work for the king of Assyria. She left behind tablets with recipes. Born in 69 BC, Cleopatra is known for concocting fragrances out of rose and papyrus oils, traditionally a male perfume. Perfumes have power. They are hypnotic. They make a statement. In fact, they have an influence on emotions and moods, and they influence behavior. That's because our sense of smell is linked directly to the limbic system, the process responsible for our memory and feelings. Many perfumers, like musicians, create with their emotions. In fact, we talk about perfume notes. Kirkjian says, "Being a perfumer is a bit like being a magician. It's about realizing your vision of someone else's emotions. It took all my energy for 6 months to come up with the right formula for Rumeur, because for me, it's not just about mixing raw materials, It's about creating a memory that will last. Fragrance creates emotion, and emotion comes through the shape of the bottle, the choice of scents, or even the name of the perfume. Kilian created Moonlight in Heaven after tasting hot gelatinous rice soaked in coconut milk with mango ice cream. The explosion in the mouth inspired him. Guerlain's L'Heure Bleue perfume bottle has an upside-down heart-shaped cap. Why is this? Because the perfumer wanted to recreate an hour of love in Paris during the blue hour. The blue hour is the time of day when light gradually fades. It is represented by the violet flower. Another famous perfumer, Bertrand Ducheffour, created Timbuktu and Nuit de Tubereuse for the L'Artisan Parfumeur brand. He says, natural raw materials give a color to perfume that synthetic products will never give. Why is that? Because they have an olfactory spectrum, as if we could work from light blue to dark blue, a kind of camailleux, or monochrome color, in natural products. Raw materials give depth, give very particular patinas to perfume. We work in layers. It's like multiplying the number of pages in the book you're about to write. Historically, incense was the first perfume. Incense existed as early as 3300 BC in the form of myrrh and frankincense. Perfumes were very present in antiquity. People soon realized that tree sap and bark could be burned to embalm rooms. In fact, the Latin word for perfume, perfumum, means by smoke. It is through smoke that we communicate with the beyond. Perfumes are also used to embalm the deceased. Incense is a mixture of resin and essential oils. Perfume is mystical because it's present, but we can't see it like the gods. We smell a scent, but it's mysterious and we can't explain it. In fact, the Roman Emperor Nero burned a year's worth of incense at the funeral of one of his mistresses. During the plague of the 14th century, amber apples or pomanders were worn around the neck to ward off the smell of death. France lost 40% of its population, and so it was necessary. The amber apple ore was made from sperm whale residue. Ambergris has a strong animal, mineral and iodized odor because the stone remained in the sea for so long. There is a recipe in John Partridge's The Treasury of Commodious Conceits and Hidden Secrets. The recipe includes several resins dissolved into rose water. The ball was coated with strong spices such as cinnamon, sweet squash called sanders, and cloves. Then the ball was kneaded into a mixture of ambergris and musk. In the late 16th century, the poinsett box made its apparition. While basically a pomander, the design was used to hold liquid perfume soaked in cotton or a sponge. It is called poinsett because the box was poussed or pierced to form designs. Many of the pounsets were literally art pieces, finely chiseled, inlaid with pearls, enamel or precious stones. They were also made out of silver or gilded. Ambergris was for the rich. To this day, perfume is associated with wealth. The poor buy a perfume costing as low as €4, while the rich can buy perfumes costing up to €1 million when the bottle is adorned with precious stones. But how did France's first perfume house come into being, Maison Lubin? Farjan, an apothecary from father to son, was the appointed perfumer to Queen Marie Antoinette and the ladies of the court. Farjan introduced Monsieur Lubin to perfumery and the natural beauty creams and scented ribbons and powders he concocted. After the Revolution of 1789 and the death of the Queen, Lubin opened a boutique named Au Bouquet de Rose in memory of the Queen. Empress Josephine, wife of Napoleon I, frequented Lubin's store, as did the daughter of Marie Antoinette, wife of the Duc d'Angoulême. Lubin won the confidence of the wealthy by calling himself the keeper of the beauty secrets of the ancient court of France, and received the ladies' patronage after the Reign of Terror. Thanks to these influencers called Les Merveilleuses, he became supplier to the King of England and the Tsar of Russia. This is how Parfum Lubin became the world's leading perfume house, prized by the great monarchs and the wealthy of America. Nowadays, LVMH, L'Oréal and Inter Parfums dominate the market, followed by Chanel and Hermès. These groups include many famous brands working to create luxury products. Today, Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, loves the scents of June, a perfume created by Dior. It's a summer fragrance based on lily, bergamot, vanilla, and sandalwood. We associate Naomi Campbell and Lady Diana with Dior's Diorissimo, a strong, lingering lily scent. We associate Kate Winslet with Miyake's L'Odyssée, a fresh, light fragrance with lily, lotus, and rose. We associate Kate Moss with Fleur d'Oranger by Serge Lutens. It's a spicy citrus scent. Finally, we associate Queen Elizabeth with Guerlain's Le Heure Bleu, a scent of iris and violet. Here are some useful French terms. Un accord is composed of several scent notes or ingredients. Un flacon de parfum is a bottle of perfume. Une mouillette is a blotter or a piece of strip of paper used to test perfumes. Le sillage comes from the word that describes the trail left behind by a boat. The wake is the scent floating behind you when you shake your hair or wave your hands. A baume is a stick of perfume or ointment. Une palette is a number of scents a perfumer likes to work with, usually between 6 and 50. Ambré is an adjective that means warm and sensual. These perfumes usually smell of musk, vanilla, and resins. La teinture is a tincture, the result of the macerating a raw material in alcohol for a month or more. L'orgue à parfum is a perfume organizer with several shelves to gather basic scent bottles. The olfactory pyramid is composed of 3 notes. It is a model that helps understand the complexity of perfumes and give a base to compose our own scents. It is made of the base, the heart, and the head fragrance. The top note is the most volatile part of the fragrance. It is fresh and light, composed of citrus fruits such as bergamot or orange, and herbs such as lavender or anise seed. The scent evaporates completely after 30 minutes. The heart note is a perfume's dominant scent or personality. It lasts for several hours. It includes flowers such as roses, jasmine or lilacs, greens such as grass, leaves or vines, fruits such as peach, berries or pears, finally spices such as clove, nutmeg, cinnamon. The base note is the scent left on the skin after the other oils have evaporated. It can remain on the skin for several days. It can be animal such as musk or ambergris. It can also be woodsy such as cedar, patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood. It can finally be balsamic such as mushroom, vanilla, tonka bean or moss.